Hey you guys, so going off my last video, I'm very sorry. My mom texted me saying it was time for dessert. Like I said, right? Well, obviously I closed out to see what my mom has texted me. And then I try to go back to tell you guys, hey, I just did my highlighter. And I'm gonna go eat my dessert real quick, right? Well, guess what? The thing closed on me, okay? So I was not able to get back in and finish the video. So, we are gonna finish this and make it a part 2. Which means if anybody texts me for some reason I have to leave, you know I have to make a part 3 if I'm not done. I'm very sorry because I hate making part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I hate that. But at the same time, it was my fault. Technical difficulties, blame it on the robots. That is one of my favorite lines, blame it on the robots, because they have a lot coming for them. What? Anyhow. Speaking of which, remember when I made that video, the YouTube shorts, talking about Lacey? Well, guys, what the freak is coming up? Cheer season. Wanna know what I'm in? Cheer. Wanna know what Lacey's in? Cheer. Or we can just call her Elle, honestly. What do you mean? Oh, sorry. I can't call her by her real name because, first of all, she didn't give consent, and second of all, my safety too. Doesn't give a crap about her safety on the internet and whatever, but I give a crap about mine. So, ooh, how sure it's not. Oh, I love it. I should do this more often. Anyhow, but yeah, and there's this thing my cheer does. It's called the top 3. Yeah, I've been at it for 2 years. First year I was in second place, and then for that, and then this year now, last year, well, when I was, yeah, anyhow, and then it was where I was in first place, and I'm going in first place again for another 2 years. Thank God. Anyhow, but anyhow, continuing from that. And whatever. I'm the top 3. She's in second place, and then another girl, we'll call her I, is in third place. Right? Well, why I am not very close with. But Lacey, I have to be close with, because she goes to my school. I does not, but this year she's gonna have to go to my school. Yeah. Anyhow. But yeah, so I had to deal with her. Right? Well, Lacey, she literally has to be in everything I am. We're not even that close, but she just ends up doing it. For example, she was in my musical. She was in the musical, and she hasn't always been in cheer. Remind you, this is gonna be my 6th year doing cheer. This is gonna be her 3rd, 4th. Okay, so kind of give you some background. Oh my God, my eyes are so what? Fiery. I would not wear that in public. But anyhow, yeah. So that's basically what was going on. I'm not excited to deal with her, honestly, because my cheer coach retired, by the way. I hate her. If you want some definition on that, I'll tell you later. But me and a bunch of other kids hated this one cheer coach, okay? One cheer coach. We've only had one. Well, I have only had one. I did not like her. Okay? And she finally retired! By the way, I'm just going off with like the least used in my drawer. Not any Pinterest book. Anyhow. But yeah. This one's from Milani. I used this one time because I was a vampire. Anyhow, but we all hated her. Right. Anyhow, she had to go and ruin the whole thing. Not exactly. But she hated me. After I stopped dating her son, and overall just hated me. And I hated her too. But, oh, Jesus. Oh, thank God. That scared me. My makeup brush just fell. Anyhow. So, yeah, she finally retired. And no one was a fan of her, in my opinion. Like, really nobody. I'm gonna do a cute lip, though, because even though I'm not having a good... like, a golden accent, like... Honestly, though? Like... Huh? It looks greenish, but... Anyhow, Anywho, like I said, no one really liked her. Everyone really hated her. We weren't fans of her whatsoever. She not out. Bye 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 bye. But on that last, okay, this is what I was trying to get to. On our last game, last cheer season, which is the same as football season, okay? I don't understand. We'll get into that another day. But, she was like, that day, Lacey, R and S, me, C, and M had been made up a dance for the Jets, okay? We had made up a dance. It was like a spirit call. If you don't know what a spirit call is, let me bring you a definition. A cheer is an actual cheer. 3 times, okay? 3 times, it's a cheer. You stay longer, more poses, you do poses, and sometimes you do stunts. Stunts are not in spirit calls, okay? Spirit calls you can do 3 times, you can do 2 times. Depend what the rhythm fits. They are short. It's like a YouTube video, but then there's a YouTube short, which was basically cutting it in half. Okay? Well, yeah, that's what basically it was. And we had one for the Jets. I don't really remember it, but I sure I will as soon as cheer season starts. I'm sorry I'm yelling. I'm just getting really angry at this, okay? Anywho, yeah. So basically, they're like, oh, we want to change it up. Because we're really annoying and we hate you. So they wanted to change it up. I'm like, no. First of all, me, C, and M made that. Second of all, you don't have trademark rights to it. And third of all, it's a spirit call, not a cheer. You want to know something? The person who is in first place is also our ex-coach, the one we all hated, her daughter. I dated her son. Get that going? Yeah, okay. Anyhow, yeah. So, basically, blah, 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 blah. This happened. we were yelling at each other, and she goes, Addie, just because you have anger issues does not mean you have to yell at me. And just because you, C, and M made up the cheer doesn't mean that me, S, and R can't change it. And I'm like, yes, it does. It does mean that. So say that again, L. Say that again, Lacey, and let me know what happens in that thick skull of yours that has nothing in it. And then we went our halftime. Our halftime, basically, is where we get an hour to 30 minutes. Yeah, only 30 minutes. I know, it's awesome. To ourselves. I know, right? It's a queeving. It's delicious. Also, if you see me look at my lips, I'm just wondering what they look like. Anywho. But yahoo. So anyhow, came back from break, chomped down on some Skittles. We had to go in the field because our coach A said, get on the field. We're starting in 10 minutes. And I know it takes about 10 minutes to round you all up. So, let's go. I usually wait really close to where we have to go. But if I see anybody that's like really good too, I'm like, oh yeah, this person went that way, this person went that way. Easy. Anyhow, but yeah. We only got 30 minutes this time. I was not in a mood. I was in a pretty bad mood. Basically, yahoo. So, she is like, let's go. So we got in there, and she ended up coming up to me. I thought she was going up to Lacey. She wasn't. She was going up to me. Yeah, I thought she was going up to Lacey. No, she wasn't. It was bad. So then, she walked up to me, Coach A, and she was like, there were 3 girls who had came up to me over break and were talking to me about you. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what were they saying? Like, she didn't tell me who. Okay, she didn't tell me a single clue who it was. I already knew who it was, so it didn't really matter. And whatnot, right? Well, she's like, a couple of girls came up to me over break and were talking to me about you and how you weren't being very kind to them. Mind you, this was our last game of the season. Okay? She goes, if you are not planting flower seeds of kindness, you won't be planting seeds at all. AKA, if you want to break that down in her harmonious, coach-like, trying to tell you that you are a horrible person without being rude about it voice. She was like, if you are not going to be nice to people, you are not going to do this. You are not going to cheer. You are going to be done. Remind you, I still had a whole half of the game to go. And in my head, you want to know what my head was thinking? On my head, I'm like, oh yeah, sure. You want to ruin the only person who has not talked bad in front of you. The only person who is the best person here, not literally joking. The only person who's holding this team up together because they don't know how to get it together. The only person who has actual respect for you and other people, although it's kind of deteriorating. And the only person who actually gives a crap about cheer. All these other girls, they're doing it for fun. I could too, but when you're the coach, it's not fun. That was in my head. I didn't say it though, because my parents would have had a talk with her. Thank God she retired. Anyhow. Basically, I'm like, yes, ma'am. But I didn't get the sass. I'm like, yes, Coach A. Coach A. Yes, miss. Yes, ma'am. And she's like, okay, good. Because if I hear any more of people talking that you've not been being nice, I will get you off this field. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. I wasn't crying. I wasn't looking down. I was looking right in that girl's eyes. And that's how she knows. If I'm looking right at her, I have something to say, but I don't want to say it. So I was going, yes, ma'am. Yes. Like how an adult would look at, like, so it's like the same face an adult makes when they're on the phone. Like, for example, say, like, I'm a parent and I have a kid or whatever, and the kid got in trouble today because he was like, let's say, he punched a kid for no reason, just came up, bam, no reason at all, just boom. And the principal's calling me. I'm like, yeah, yes, ma'am. Straight into that kid's eye, just, I will make sure to have a deep conversation with him. Same exact look, except I wasn't looking down. I was looking right in that girl's eyes. The thing is, if I'm looking down, I'm probably like looking in their eyes because they're shorter than me. So I'm like looking at the girl's eyes, like a little bit up. Just, yeah. Totally. Wasn't crying, wasn't phased. I was like unfazed at that. And all the other chill girls were just watching. And I saw Lacey snickering in the back, and I'm like, although I would want to say she was being rude to me, and I told her the exact words that Lacey had told me. And she goes, okay, but they came to me first, which means they have a more important thing. I'm like, I didn't figure it was that important because it didn't involve football. It didn't involve anything cheer-wise. Cheer is full of drama, and so is the world. I didn't think it was that important, so I didn't. And she goes, well, thank you for saving that for me. But I will have to take their things over consideration over yours. And I'm like, okay, but beware. But I'm like, but also, I have cheered for you for 5 years now. You should be able to trust me. And she goes, okay, I want to see that. I'm like, I have been showing you, so thank you. Remind you, I did not get on a year early because of her. I got a year early because of pure talent. And wanting for it. Probably shouldn't have hated some of the people back then. They're middle schooler. They're like older kids. They're out of it now. Or like, they're like, they like stopped doing it or something. I don't freaking know. Ugh. Nasty. Anyhow. I look really patchy. I hate that. Yeah, it was not my finest moment. But don't worry. Bad bleeps never go down. So, end of the game, and we always get a present from our coach at the end of the year. When it was my first year, my first or my second year, okay, Coach A did this thing where she would hand out medals to her favorites, aka the people who worked the hardest. Like, you worked the hardest is flying. Here's a medal. I was really hoping I was going to get a medal. I think it was my second year, actually. Oh, that was my first. I remember it very clearly now. But, yeah. The fact that I remember it like it's yesterday. I just drew a mask on my face. I don't like it. I just went into my eyebrow. I don't like it. Anyhow, but, yeah, and she's like, Addie, you are going to be a leader to these kids next year. And you are going to have to work with Lacey and I. Not her, I. I'm not saying her actual name, but we're going to call her I, okay? Because that's like the initial that we're going to give her. Oh, whatever. And she's like, you need to learn to get along with them, okay? I get it. Some people are hard to work along with, but you gotta do it. Those words live in my head rent-free because she does not do that. So why should I follow that? Anyhow, cheer season has not started yet, but I will keep you posted what the frick she does. And that's gonna be like the best thing in my existence. So, I do not feel gorgeous right now. I feel very unhinged and very wild. Welcome. Addie's dead. Here comes weird person. Yeah. It's really concerning. But yeah. Basically, I just don't give a crap. She sucked. Everybody hated her. Anyway, she's over here acting like it's hard to commune with people when no wonder it's hard to commune with people. You suck! Okay, and also that exact same day, you know Gracie, right? She's part of this too. Well, anyhow, she joined here as well, which is where we met, actually. Also, her mom was my librarian teacher the year before. But anyhow, on that exact same day, Grace and I have been having some troubles at school since they go to the same school. They've been having some troubles, and people were like, Grace was basically being bullied by a bunch of people, and I'm saying like a bunch of people, okay? By Lacey and I. Guess who's on our cheer team? Lacey and I. But like, I'm head, so like, Slay, I'm better than you. Anyhow, so basically, yeah, they're like part of the cheer team. And I had been like, Grace and I have been having some issues. And apparently, I was saying she was feeling left out from the whole thing with her and, from cheer because she wanted to hang out with Grace. And Grace didn't really want to talk to her since she was bullying her. So, whatever. So then she told Coach A, you want to know who gets in trouble? Grace. And she ended up making Grace cry just like she made me cry, but it was a few years earlier. Because she was yelling at her and yelling at her and yelling at her. I feel very unhinged. I'm just putting crap on my face by now. People actually wear this out, I feel. Too bad for those people. They must have very unhinged lives. Anyhow. But yeah. So, basically, she didn't want to hang out with her. She got in trouble. Blah, blah, blah. Annie made her cry. Did I say Annie? Annie? Who the frick is Annie? I mean, A. I was thinking of a movie character. So, A basically was talking and yelled at her. And then we came back. What was it? To like, oh yeah, there was like one last cheer practice, but it wasn't really a cheer practice. It was like a goodbye type thing. And it was the next day, which is when you're supposed to turn, well no, it was like the week later, because you're supposed to like say goodbye, take pictures with your cheer family, get your, and turn in your gear. Okay, because the shirts you're able to keep, but the skirts you don't keep. So, they wash them, blah, 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 but yeah, we had to turn them in. So all that was happening. And as soon as she showed up for the last cheer practice, okay? And this is where you get to try the cheers that you didn't get to try throughout the season. You get to do last cheer things. You get to tumble around, have fun. This is like a fun bee, okay? It was really cool, and I love whenever we do those. It's like at the end of the season each year, okay? So then blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, Coach A, like, as soon as Grace arrived, scooped her. Like, I was talking to her for, like, a second. I'm like, Grace, I'm so glad that you showed. Like, I was about to hug her. And Coach A comes up, scoops her up in her arms, hugging her and saying, I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure it's because she's afraid of a lawsuit. Anyhow, she was, like, saying, I'm so sorry, all this, all that, blah, blah, blah. I knew she wasn't sorry. But, she was saying all this and all that, and blah, blah. I didn't get to hang out with my best friend. She's my best friend, not yours. And the girls over here, oh my god, like, you're my best friend. I feel very unhinged right now. I look like Shrek. New, Shrek girl's friend. Frick Fiona, here comes... Who? I look like the Grinch and Shrek had a baby. And it was very weird. I want to show my mom this. Hey. But yeah. Anyhow, I'm like, girl, that's my best friend, not even yours. She don't even like you. I actually said that out loud. And she's like, what? And I'm like, oh, I was thinking in my head, I was talking to myself, and I think I said, I think she likes you. She goes, oh yeah, you two are best friends. Congrats. I'm like, thanks. I don't like you. Back the frick up. Anyhow. But yeah, that is the only person she apologized to. Never apologized to anybody else. Just her. I'm not jealous of her. I'm happy for her. I'm mad at the fact that she only had the nerve to say sorry to one person, even though a few years later, my dad could have been in jail. Because he made me cry, okay? And it was for a dumb reason, too. Because Annie's dumb like that. Anyhow, she made me... And A is... Keep thinking Eddie! Because A is dumb like that, okay? So my dad almost punched her. Didn't. Keyword, didn't. And I'm actually kind of happy for that. So, here's the final makeup look. I look horrendous, okay? And I don't want to shower, but I think I'm going to have to now. Hold on, I'm going to draw a mustache, okay? I kind of want a mustache. Also, if you guys ever want to join cheer, please do. I recommend it. It's a fun, drama-filled, fun task experiment that you can try. And when you are in something that you commit to going into, you feel like family. So this is the final look. I hope you guys love it. I feel like a dead person right now. So, yeah, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more crazy, drama-filled, horrible things like this. I hope you go see part 1 before you watch this one, though, because that got messed up. If you did not see what I was saying before, love you guys. I'm going to go wash this off and hopefully not have to do this again. But if I get to 30 subscribers, I might have to.